going on YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Want to talk about the fight last night a little bit, and also the press conference with Frank Martin and and Tank Davis, which looked like it's gonna be a real good fight coming up in June. I like that fight a whole lot. I really believe that Frank is gonna come in there and really fight, but gonna kind of start off talking about the fight with Canelo and Munguia. Trying to wait and see if a few people gonna sign on. It's kind of early in the morning, so a lot of people probably still asleep. But I like the fight. We had a lot last night. It was much better than I thought it would be. You know, Canelo's still a damn good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but I just noticed it seemed like he's slowing down a little bit. What I mean by that is it just seemed like he was real slow last night, kind of like heavy footed, and now don't get me wrong, he boxed beautiful. Canelo did. He did a beautiful job boxing last night. You know, uh, I was impressed with his defense, although I knew he had it, but he showed good defense. He caught a lot of punches on his gloves last night, and then he was dipping, slipping shots. I'm watching the fight again now, and I think Munguia, to me, he brought a much better fight than I expected him to bring. I thought that Canelo would do like some of what I'm watching him do right now, banging with them big hooks and uppercuts, and set him up with them stiff jabs. And I thought he was gonna knock this dude out. I just did not see this dude lasting 12 rounds with Canelo. I was shocked. And when a man Canelo size land 50% of his power shots, and all he get is a knockdown out of it, I mean, uh, that let me know he don't have knockout power at this division. And it let me also know why he probably staying away from Benavidez. Benavidez got height, youth, reach, speed, and power. And I think Canelo, he can say what he want about. He know he'll beat Benavidez. He don't know no shit like that. If he get in the ring with Benavidez, and I like Canelo, I think he gonna get dealt with. You know, believe it or not, he could even get knocked out. Benavidez is a big puncher. He's a big active fighter, so he coming. If Benavidez gonna come get you, and I don't see how Canelo will be able to get away from him. And last night, like sometimes you could see when Canelo was trying to counter punch Munguia and catch him with left hooks, in between punches. Them hooks was coming off so slow. I see why he don't want to fight Crawford either. Canelo, not the timing was good. All that was good, but uh, that ain't gonna work against Bud or none of these high level fighters. Benavidez, it ain't gonna work. States 187, what's going on? I'm just chilling. Yeah, I'm watching the fight again now, talking about it, man. Canelo did his thing, but he just looked old to me. He's like an old young fighter. It's obvious to me why he don't want to fight Benavidez now. Honestly, his counter punches is still good, but they slow. His defense is still good, but shots are slipping past him now. Now what I did like his conditioning. His conditioning stayed up on par. Then for the whole 12 rounds, I was happy to see that out of him because Canelo had a bad habit of gassing out. Around around the 11th and 12th round, he usually get a little tired. And last night, he seemed like he was good for the duration of the fight. Canelo, he fought a good fight last night, but I was disappointed because I was expecting him to knock this dude out. Most of what I thought he would do is what he did last night, as far as hitting him with counter punches, walking him into big shots. he was going. He had Munguia having to come forward more than he was. From time to time, Canelo was stepping to him, but for the most part, he was letting Munguia come to him where he could kind of walk him into shots. And I mean, it was pretty much what anybody who know how Canelo fight and seen Munguia fight before. Only thing that didn't happen that most people would expect was the knockout. Like I said, and Canelo landed 50% of his power punches. That's a lot of big shots for somebody to catch from a dude that's supposed to be a big puncher and not get hurt real bad. So I don't think Canelo got that same punching power at this division that he did at 154 and 160. And I think he had hella problems if he get in there with Benavidez. I mean, hella problems. I think he know it. I think his team deep down inside know it. I think Canelo would have moments if he fought Benavidez, but for the most part, I think being Benavidez walk him down, probably walk Canelo down and knock him out. I mean, yeah, because I think unless Canelo submit or surrender in that, because I think Benavidez would get so far ahead in the early rounds with the reach, speed, and just natural size advantages. Canelo would have to start selling out late to have a chance to win the fight, and that's usually when that's a lot of times how fighters get knocked out when you trying to sell out and come back and get back in a fight with a dude that's on that top level and younger, hungrier, taller, faster. Canelo ain't stupid. We ain't gonna get that fight. That's one fight that's not gonna happen. Canelo and Benavidez will not be fighting. Canelo's he too rich. He don't need to fight, and Benavidez went on ahead and moved up now, which he should. Because don't make the mistake Earl Spence did and just hang around waiting in the division forever for an opponent, and you somewhat grew out the division, and you got to starve yourself just to make weight for a big fight. You don't want to go in there like that. So I hate that we won't get to see Benavidez fight Canelo because I really want to see that fight. But watching Canelo last night, I know why. That's not to say he didn't, you know, win the fight convincingly to last night, but it just let me know why he ain't fighting Benavidez. His counter punches is too slow now. He wouldn't have the reach would be a problem. I mean, Benavidez would be so many. It would be so many different problems for Canelo in that fight that it just would be it'd be a mismatch from start to finish, and it could get embarrassing for Canelo to be at the stature he is in boxing to go in there with a younger guy and get dominated like I think Benavidez would probably do him now. And it's on, and not that he's just so much better than Canelo, but I just think the youth, the size, the reach, and Canelo having a lot of miles on him. I think it showed up to me last night. I felt like Canelo won damn near every round, but I just looking at it, he couldn't hurt him. He knocked him down, but he really didn't have him hurt. He should have finished him. His counter punches was not landing a lot of time because they was coming so slow. It really shocked me how slow that left hook, uh, his counter left hook was. I was real shocked, and now I see why he don't really want to fight Crawford either. Crawford would be so much faster than him, and he already got the reach advantage. Crawford could stay outside and pop that jab on Canelo and just stay away and keep his hands up good and possibly sneak out a decision against him. Now I see. I think Canelo. Hell, it might be time for him to go ahead and retire. Not a real Bud fan, but I respect him. I think he would be hell yeah. Yeah, Bud would be a hell of a difficult fight, especially if he could make that weight good because the speed difference would be the speed difference would be just too much to overcome, especially with Bug at the speed, the reach, and he already got real good footwork. And he ain't gonna stand there and slug with Canelo. He gonna be trying to stay away from him. So I see why Canelo didn't want that fight. But if you can't fight the top guys, maybe or not willing to fight the top guys no more, it could be time for Canelo to hang this shit up. I mean, that was a good victory last night. But like I said, I mean, the guys that everybody want to see him fight, he not gonna fight them. He ain't gonna fight Crawford, and he not gonna fight Benavidez. And ain't a whole lot of people really want to see Canelo in the ring with. I'm sure this pay per view didn't sell like they wanted it to or thought it would last night because people really ain't interested in watching Canelo go in here with no guy that they know he gonna beat. You really want to see these guys get challenged. And I mean, Canelo has taken a lot of challenges. He's had big fights, but where he at in his career now, I think, I mean, he can do these kind, but I think if you get the top guys in there, you're gonna have a lot of problems just with the speed alone. Speed, these guys gonna be way faster than him. I was shocked at how looked like Canelo had slowed down a whole lot. Now it could be him having lack of respect for the opponent. I don't know, but when I was looking at him trying to counter punch and catch him in between with left hooks, it didn't look good to me. David, yeah, he moving up to 175. He got to. I mean, Canelo ain't gonna fight. He can't wait for him forever, cause you know, it make me think Canelo was trying to starve him out. Because Benavidez is a big dude, so he really need to eat. And trying to keep this shrinking down to make 168. It probably was already a problem, and it was going. Canelo started boxing at like 140 pounds, so Canelo done already went up in one, two, three, like four divisions. Benavidez just not getting up, and I think Benavidez can go all the way up to probably cruiserweight at some point. So he can't sit around there playing games waiting on Canelo to decide if he want to fight or not, or trying to, hold out to get more and more money. And this dude starving himself, trying to stay fighting in that division that he clearly has outgrown. So I mean, I would like to see Canelo in better fights, but I really want to see, sometimes it's time for these older guys. Once you don't want to fight real fights no more and don't want to fight every year and stuff like that. Sometimes it's time to just go on home, and retire, and let these young guys make their name for themselves. It's hard for these guys a lot of times to make a name when you got the OGs hanging around forever, and then you're hanging around holding belts and shit like that, but then you won't fight nobody. You really in the way. You know what I mean? So in a lot of ways, it's time for some of these dudes to go and take their ass to home and retire, and let the dudes who out here young and hungry and want to fight, let them come out here and fight for these titles and have these big fights so we can get these good fights. And I ain't saying that what's going on, Demetrius? I ain't saying we haven't been getting a good fight. How you? Oh, I'm good about Tank Mark. Now you know what? I like that. I like the press conference yesterday, and I gotta say, who the hell Canelo gonna fight? Now, thank you, but I gotta say, Tank. I like Tank in a press conference, but I like Frank too. What Frank showed me was he coming to fight. He ain't coming in there to lay down. He not intimidated, and he gonna try real hard, which I pretty much knew. But you want to see him say it. You want to see him show that he really up for this fight. And but now what I did notice, Demetrius was Lord of the boxing ring. What's good, dog? What I did notice about Frank yesterday is something I've been saying for a while. Frank looked big as a motherfucker yesterday. He seemed like he been almost like he been lifting weights and shit. I mean, his arms, he looked like a welterweight, really sitting up there yesterday. I was like, damn, Frank big. So unless I was just seeing something, because Tank looked like he damn near on weight already. Frank looked like he gonna have to drop some pounds. I mean, He looked swollen and chunky up there in the meet. Now they got a whole month to get, he got a month to drop the weight, so I ain't worried about not making weight. But he looked real big for the division. And I think what thing Tank do know is this is gonna be different. Tank ain't fought nothing but Mexicans since he been in boxing, since he been a professional. He ain't fought no brothers. I think he fought two in the early part of his career that ain't even worth bringing up. So this may be something a little bit different for him because yeah, I think it might be a little bit where it's gonna be more Frank gonna be moving around the ring a little bit more than what he might be been used to lately. This gonna be an interesting fight. Frank did once say he gonna finish at 150. Yeah, well, I don't know if you're gonna do all that shit. You got to be able to beat them dudes at 140 and 147. And I ain't convinced of that, and I like Frank. No, I don't. What's good, dog? Yeah, but I ain't sure. I don't think Frank gonna be able to make it to no 154 and be competitive. You know, we'll see what he look like with Tank, but the dudes Frank done fought so far, shit, he ain't even fought the best guys at 135 to be talking about going to 154. Shit, he got to get past 135 and 140 and 147 first. I ain't what shit. What he gonna do? Box forever? I don't know about that one. But I do think he need. Just looking at him yesterday, in that press conference, it's like he at least need to be fighting at 140. He looked big as hell to be at 135. Yesterday, Tank looked way smaller than him. Now it could have been that big T-shirt Tank had on, but shit, I mean, Tank. I'm saying Frank looked like like a damn near like he's a weightlifter compared to Tank yesterday, and I was like, I hope he ain't lifting weights, because that ain't really good. You want to be loose and and limber in the ring. You don't want to be swole and slow and stiff. But I think I like the intensity in Frank eyes yesterday. I liked his, I just see he coming to fight. Stanley Green was good. Good to see you, brother. Thanks, man. Yeah, everything going good, my guy. But Frank is ready and not. No, he ain't intimidated not one bit, dude. Dog. That's what I saw yesterday. Now, that don't mean Tank got the natural. Oh yeah, Tank got the power. Hell, Frank said that himself yesterday. He spoke on Tank power, which I really didn't want to hear him say. To be honest with you, cause he really can't go in there thinking about it like that. You got to go in there and have your defense tight, but you can't be worried about his punches. And the fight ain't even started yet. That was the only thing I didn't like that Frank brought up Tank's power, and I think Frank is big enough to absorb some of the shots as long as he don't catch them too flush and too clean. But I would like to know how they plan on beating them. They keep talking about taking everything away from them. That shit sound good. But what you gonna do? You can't see because I don't think boxing on the inside is safe because dudes with them short arms and Tank love uppercuts and hooks. If you come on the inside, you fall into his big punches. And I don't know that Frank Martin is a better boxer than him trying to box from the outside. It's a possibility that Tank is, I think, faster, hitting harder, and more experienced. It's a lot of shit in Tank favor in this fight. They both look confident, and you know, Tank always be silly like that when him and Adrian Brown together. They good friends. So some of that with him was, he got his boy with him, and I think he was feeling super, super, super happy. But I think that's gonna be. I think he bet not for 1 second take Frank Light, which I don't think he will. But he damn sure bet not because I think Frank come. Well, ain't no think Frank coming to try to get that belt. He gonna try to come get that belt. I got no doubt in my mind about that. Frank is trying to come get that strap. And Tank gonna have to be. He gonna have to. What Tank gonna to me, I think Tank gonna have to go out there early when they fight and get the respect out of Frank within the first 2 or 3 rounds. Because if he let him get his confidence up, the fight can get harder and harder. Yeah, Stace. I'm going live for the fight with Tank and for Tank and Frank Martin. No doubt about that. Yeah, I'm definitely going live for that one. I would have did it last night, but I didn't get home until it was time for the fight last night, and I really had time. Because I did want to see the fight. I'm watching it again now. And like I said, Munguia afforded himself well. He did a good job last night because he tried his ass off. He just was outmatched. I think the fight with Canelo and Munguia may be similar to how the fight gonna go down with Frank Martin and Tank, where Frank is trying real hard and throwing big shots, and Tank catching most of them and hitting him with bigger shots clean. I can see these fights being real similar. I think Tank is a lot farther ahead of of Frank Martin as far as experience in these type of fights. It's going to what people don't realize, like, yeah, it do help when you fighting on other people undercards, like when Frank was fighting on undercards for Spence and stuff like that. Same for Tank and Floyd. But when you the headliner of a big fight in Vegas and everybody came to see you fight that night, that's a whole other level of pressure within itself. Lord of the Boxing Rings. Look forward to checking out that spin. Oh yeah, yeah, man, that's going that the pressure, just the crowd, the moment, the rain walk, all that. That's gonna be a lot for Frank Martin. It's gonna be his first time headlining a big show like this on pay per view, and Floyd used to say that all the time. Everybody look good in the gym, but when you get in the up under the lights with the crowd on, no headboard, get the small gloves, and it's time to go get it. I I wonder, will the moment be too big for Frank? I really do. I have seen fighters come up small in them fights just because you can tell all the stuff is leading up to it, and you could just see them when they get in the ring. Sometimes you can see their eyes change. It's not that they're afraid. It's just that this is a new territory, and there's gonna be a lot of people in there. And everybody coming to see your fight. Like I said, man, you can rise or fall when shit like that happen. And Tank done been there a couple of times already, and I feel like Mario Barrios is somewhat disrespected in the boxing community because I thought he was a pretty good 140 pounder, and I thought him and Tank, that was a tough fight to me. Look what Ryan Garcia just did to Devin. Tank don't, people keep saying Tank ain't really fought nobody well. I mean, only person he ain't fought is the ones that ain't fought each other. Teofimo, Devin, Tank, Shakur, them dudes right there. No, I don't. Really said, yeah, dog. When they get up under them lights, it's that's gonna tell the real story, and that's the first thing. Like a fighter like Frank got to hope he can overcome is the moment. That moment. It's like I used to play basketball. Irvin, a great fact. I used to play basketball, and when we have an all-star team or it's a big championship game or something, not the gym more packed than it ever been. You got all these people looking. You know, it can change things up a little bit. Yeah, it's showtime. Yeah. It can change things up a bit, and I just hope Frank is ready for that part of it as well. To see the physical part is the easy part when you get to this level for boxing. The mental shit is where a lot of these dudes come up short. Can you stay focused for 12 rounds? Can you stick to the fight plan, especially if it's a good plan? And if the plan don't fail, are you able to adapt and adjust and come to go to plan B, C, D? All that shit come to play when you fighting at the top level in these big fights. Frank ain't been in the ring with nobody nowhere close to Tank skills. Tank done been in the ring with dudes that's probably better or damn sure on the same level as Frank Martin already. So it's a lot of advantages in here for Tank. Frank is trying to get the belt, but they're about the same age. They both in their prime as far as youth and and they strength and all that. Both of these dudes in their prime are, Anybody can win this fight. I'm going with Tank all day. I don't think it's nowhere close to no 50-50 or nothing like that. But I think Frank is strong enough where if he catch him with a good punch, he make it hurt Tank just as well as Tank hurt him. But one thing about Tank that I guarantee you Frank will probably say after the fight over what's going on with Robert Estrada. But Tank is very patient, and that's you need that in these big fights. Even if you jump on him, he not gonna panic and just get out of his bag too quick. Sometimes Tank to me is patient to a fault because every now and then he'll give away a little round. Tank is on. He'll give away rounds. But he's setting you up for some big shots, and that's why I said I think that's the part that's going where Frank is gonna learn the difference between levels in boxing. Where Tank ain't gonna just be fighting; he gonna be using his mind a lot because at this level of the game, the mental part is the biggest thing. Like a lot of them guys, when they gassing out, it's not their condition; it's up here. They tired of thinking. They tired of trying to stay focused. I can see Frank utilizing the ring space, using the jab occasionally. A 1-2. Well, I'm more so seeing Tank using the ring. Tank ain't got to chase Frank Martin down. Frank got to come get Tank. Tank got to is the champion. If Frank box like that, he gonna lose on points. Frank gonna have to come out there and fight, or he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna be in a position. That's the champ can fight like that. You can't win no title. Uh, that whole shit ain't gonna work. He got to come on in there. And Tank gonna play him. He not gonna chase that dude around the ring. He don't have to. He can stay right there in the middle of the ring. Just wait on him to come to him. He's the champ. He not gonna chase no damn Frank Martin. If anything, Frank I have to chase him. That's if but and Frank, you gotta be a better boxer than a dude to do that. I don't see nothing Frank do actually that's better than Tank. Honestly, the only thing I see he got in his favor is size. I think his size and his strength. Uh, exactly, dog. I think them traps Tank gonna be set. I think he gonna get. I would expect Frank to get caught up in the whole ambiance of the fight. That's what Tank was doing yesterday, messing with his head, getting him mad, trying to get him off focus. Like when he made a little crack about his old lady, and Frank did get mad. He gotta stay composed, and he gotta keep his head level. Tank know exactly what he doing. He trying to get that dude mad so he can go in there fighting angry. Boxing is not a sport you want to be in there angry and mad trying to fight no high level, high caliber fighter because he's gonna use that against you. That's you playing right into his hands if you do that. I just think I think that was Tank's whole mission yesterday to annoy Frank and get in his head. Ryan's supposedly suspended 2 years. I'm done with that thing with Ryan. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, man, Tank gonna be. I think Tank and Frank Martin. That's gonna be a damn good fight, man. And I believe no matter what happens, Frank gonna come out of here a better fighter. If he wins somehow, cool. But even if he lose, Frank gonna come out of there a much better fighter because this is how you get better. You gotta fight the top guys if you ever want to be on the top level. And I liked the whole press conference yesterday. And what the main thing I liked that Frank Martin did was showed him that he coming to fight. He ain't intimidated, and he coming in there trying to win. He ain't coming in there to just get no check and be on no show. He coming to try to take that spot. And I was glad to see that out of him. Because Frank is a more laid back type dude. He ain't really no rah guy from what I've seen. But now it's every now and then it's time to get like that. And this is that time now. This fight here, you don't hold nothing back in this. If you get knocked out, ain't no shame. But I think Frank need to sell out if he have to and go for it in this fight. I think he need to go all in this one, because you know, these chances don't come around every day. There's a lot of more good fighters at 135. So you know, it's good that he got his shot now. You got Keyshawn Davis, you got Shakur Stevenson, you still got Lomachenko down there. You got the boy out of that other boy out of Texas, Schofield. It's a lot of good fighters in the 135-pound division. Some of them, a lot of them young too. So I don't know. I don't think Tank gonna hang around that much longer neither. I see a couple more fights, and he probably gonna go up to 140 with Devin and all of them at there's some smoke down there at 135 now. It's a gang of smoke down there. And I'm assuming this is why Frank Martin didn't take the fight with Shakur Stevenson. I'm thinking he must have knew, or Bob or somebody, somebody must have, not Bob, I mean Al or somebody must have called him and let him know, look, you may be finna get this fight you got the fight with Tank is coming, and he gonna make more money fighting Tank than he would fighting Shakur. So I think that was the smart move for Frank. Win, lose, or draw, you want to get the most you can. And this fight, he really will get a real serious payday. And I'm real happy for him for that, because like I said, I like both fighters, but I just think Tank is a better fighter. Now, that's really it. I just think Tank is all the way around just a better fighter than Frank Martin. I think Frank done fought a lot of old, C-level fighters up to this point, but he ain't really been fighting the high caliber dudes just yet. And I'm glad he finally said that yesterday, man. Stop talking about what the fuck go on in sparring, man. That's the only thing about this generation. These dudes love to talk about that sparring and shit. I don't nobody care about what happened in sparring. We want to see what happened when y'all get up under them lights next month. That's what matter. That shit in the gym supposed to stay in the gym, but not only do these motherfuckers snitch to the police, they snitch to the public. This just a snitching ass generation now. They can't keep no secret. I mean, what going on in that gym, ain't supposed to be out here talking about that on social media, because when in sparring, everybody ain't trying the hardest. Some dudes working on defense, some dudes working on a jab. It just depends. It just depends. So I mean, I want to hear about the fights. I don't want to hear about no damn what happened in no sparring. Devin and King are talking about sparring. Nobody want to hear that shit, man. Get in the ring and fight. Yeah. When he said that to the media, I remember you talking about guys mentioning sparring. It means absolutely nothing. I mean, it don't mean nothing. Let that shit go. You know what I mean? And get out there and let everybody see what's gonna happen when you get up under the lights. I mean, I just get tired of these motherfuckers talking about what happened in sparring, man. Hey, man, that's probably why they ain't, that's y'all business. You don't know how many rounds the one somebody had before the other one. Parlay King Sports, what's good, go. But yeah, man, I can't wait to that fight. I think that fight gonna be because Devin and Ryan had a good fight, so I think it's gonna be a good fight on that same level. I think it's gonna be a lot of action. I think it's gonna get down to the nitty gritty, and I don't think it's going 12 rounds. I don't, because I think Frank gonna come in there and fight his ass off. I think Frank gonna be trying his best to beat Tank, and I think he gonna make Tank have to dig in that bag and come up with WBC as a joke. I think he gonna make Tank have to come in that bag and really really bring it out. I think he gonna push Tank. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be. No, I don't think so either, Parlay King. I think it's gonna be one of them rough and rugged fights. Cause one thing I saw is that both fighters taking the fight seriously. Tank like he already on weight and in shape, and you can tell Frank been in shape. You can look at him and tell. Yeah, for sure. You could look at him and tell Frank been in the gym working out. Like I say, his arms look real muscular. I don't like that so much, but it could just be from push-ups. Who knows? But I do know this. I think Tank gonna have to take him a little more serious than he took some of these other dudes. Frank, I think he gonna lay it all out there. That's what you're supposed to do when you get these opportunities. And I think Frank had that look in his face to me to say he ain't coming to sell out if he have to, and give it all he got. And I like the way that he wanted to show Tank, I'm not intimidated by you in the least bit. I don't give a fuck what you did to nobody else. You gonna have to do it to me. That's the attitude you gotta have going into a fight like this. You can't go in there respecting him. You can respect him if you want to after the fight again. But right now, you got to. Matter of fact, it's time to be disrespectful. The same way Tank trying to piss him off. It's time to try to piss Tank off too. It's time to Jill get that. Just find if he try to find your spot, try to find his, because you don't want to give an edge and no at no point here, even in the jaw jabbing, you do not want to give no edge. And I felt like Frank was trying to go that route yesterday. I like what I saw in Frank yesterday in the press conference. I like how he handled himself. I did. It made me look at him like Frank come to motherfucking fight. And that's what I really wanted to see out of him because Frank is a laid back, low key kind of dude. He coming to fight Tank. Tank. If Tank wasn't sure, he was laughing and all that, but I guarantee you when he left there, okay, I'm gonna have to make sure I stay tight with this motherfucker coming. Dude coming to fight. And I think if Frank didn't establish nothing else yesterday, he established letting Tank know, dude, this shit on. I ain't playing with you. And Frank ain't playing. He let do this shit and he ain't playing. I like that about it. Can't play checkers while other players. Exactly. I like Frank attitude yesterday, man. I mean, I said, okay, we gonna get what we looking for. Frank looked like he's still hungry, this motherfucker. He want that belt bad. And Tank, he know he can't lose because he don't want to lose his spot. So this gonna be a good fight. I respect Frank for stepping up to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I respect him for that too. But this what you get in the sport for. I mean, and shit. Ain't no sense in boxing if you ain't gonna run from a title shot. And a big pay per view at that. And the good thing about it, win or lose for Frank Martin now, Tank got more to lose than Frank do. Honestly, if Frank beat Tank is gonna get drugged through the mud out there. But Frank, this is win-win for him. If he win, oh man, he gonna be thrown way up there. If he lose, but the fight is competitive, he gonna be thrown way up there. If he get knocked out for taking a fight, Frank gonna be thrown way up there. Frank can't lose. Frank done already won. The minute he signed for this fight, Frank won right then. He done already won. So the fight, this is why he should be able to fight carefree with no worries. It's all on Tank, all the pressure. Now Tank was acting like he was acting, but when the fight come, the pressure is all on Tank now. Tank the one that's supposed to be the next big thing. He the one selling all the tickets. He the champ. The pressure gonna be on him because if he lose, they gonna tear him a new ass out here. So that's why I say as long as if Frank don't let Tank play him out of his position up here, shit, he should have, well, he won't have a mental edge, but the pressure ain't on Frank Martin. The pressure will be on Tank. If the fight is close, 6 rounds in, the pressure will be on Tank. Because everybody, that's all the press is just Stanley Green. I just realized this. Do you think with Derek James being his trainer and Spence being his promoter, it could be hell no. Spence ain't no sucker nigga like that. What's going on with him and Derek, he ain't gonna let that have to do with his fighter. For Spence doing business, him and Frank Martin ain't got no problems. His issues with Derek James and everybody grown. Them ain't no kids. What go on with him and Derek James ain't got a thing to go on with him and Frank. I don't see that being a distraction at all. I don't even see For what? Shit, the fight being most of the work done. Shit, the fighters nowadays promote the fight. These promoters don't do shit. YouTube and all that doing all the fight promoting. These promoters sitting on their ass with a cigar in their mouth, laughing at getting paid for free down there because I don't who do the promoting besides YouTube and the fighters themselves now. Unless it's a real big fight, they have a few commercials on ESPN and a few little things. But man, these promoters. That's why I might have to be like Devin this pops. I don't know if I'd be wanting to pay one of these motherfuckers who ain't finna come out here and really do nothing. Promotion ain't like it used to be back in the day when Don King and all of them was going out there really promoting these fights hard. YouTube is doing all the work for these cats now. Good looking out, dog. Appreciate that. But, YouTube doing all the work for these motherfuckers now. The promoters getting away with murder. They really are. They are getting away with pure D murder. Not having to, do no work, and these guys going out here to fight. And everybody promoting the fight, but the damn promoter. The promoters now they start promoting the week of the fight. They announce it, and then about the week of the fight, they'll start trying to do their job. But all that time in between, YouTubers and stuff like that, and Fight Hype and the Fight Hub and all that kind of stuff is who promote these fights now. That's what it seemed like to me. I could be wrong, but that's how it looked from where I'm sitting at. But I promise you, if I'm sorry, if Frank Martin, if Frank Martin don't get caught up in the moment, and don't get consumed trying to walk, in the ring walk, and like the week of the fight, they're gonna have a press conference, media workouts, and all that. It's gonna be a lot of cameras around. I don't think this is gonna be the biggest press that Frank had to deal with, like him having to promote this fight and go out there and do what he did yesterday. It's gonna, if he can, if that part don't overtake Frank, I think we get a good fight. I don't think he win, but I think we get a damn good fight. Canelo done gave everybody a shot besides his number one contender. Well, yeah, man, but after I watched that fight last night, Antoine, I just don't see it. And my name Antoine too, but I just don't see it, dog. Canelo too slow now. Canelo clearly won the fight. I just got to watching it again, but he got old overnight. I mean, he 31, but he like his 31 he's like a 40-year-old man in that ring to some degree. Now the skills and all that was on par, but his counter punches was slow as hell. I mean, he just he hit this dude with 50% of his power shots and couldn't knock him out. That let me know he ain't really got no real power in that division. I think Benavidez might knock Canelo out at this point in his career, dog. Real shit, or unless Canelo just go ahead and give up and just lose on points. But I think if 65 pro fights, yeah, I think if Canelo was to try to fight hard against Benavidez, I think Benavidez put him to sleep. Benavidez youth, height, reach, speed, and power. I think it'd be way too much for Canelo at this point. Problem with boxing is that they protect Canelo. Everyone else gets stripped when they don't fight their mandatory. Yeah, man, but I don't get caught up into that shit right there because it ain't nothing we say gonna matter. And you Canelo has one fight. It is as simple as that. You can't make the dude fight him. Benavidez did what he was supposed to do. He done moved up. He going to 175. That fight ain't gonna happen. And like I said, after I watched Canelo last night, I see why it ain't gonna happen. Canelo can't beat him. And he ain't finna, but you're right. Everybody should out there fight everybody, but shit, there's a lot of dudes that's doing that shit still. Let me see. It was somebody else I was thinking about with that. Okay, Boots. Shit, look at Boots. Bud won't fight him. Spence didn't fight him now. Hey. This ain't uncommon. When Spence was trying to get the belt, you know how long it took? And he had to go to England to get the shit from Kell Brook. Remember Keith Thurman ducked and dodged his ass off with that belt. That's why Spence don't want to fight him now. This ain't nothing new. You know, this is what they do now in boxing. You, good point, Antoine, because he's a cash cow. Everybody, yeah, man. But I just don't, I don't see what you do about it. You know what I mean? You can't make these bitches go out there and fight, or stand in ring. You can't make these mothers go out there and fight. All we can do as the fans is come out there and ask for what we want. But shit, it seems like the more we want, you almost don't even want to fight because these motherfuckers start smelling money. Now they want to put it off 3 more years, make it bigger, bigger. This shit crazy, man. And what killed me about it, most of these dudes ain't know what's going on, like Xavier. Most of these dudes ain't nowhere close to the level of Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, and when Trinidad and all them was out there fighting. These dudes will win 2 or 3 decent, decent big fights, and all of a sudden they think they Floyd Mayweather and they got $100 million fight on the table somewhere. Like Keith Thurman when he was talking about trying to put the fight with Earl Spence off. Like, how is that gonna be your big fight? And you had only defended the title against Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, and you think that make you that shit? That don't get you in position for no $100 million fights and shit like that, man. These dudes be, everybody want I call it the microwave generation. So they want this shit instantly. You got to go out there and fight good fighters over and over and over and over again. And somebody else similar to Bud and Spence, they got close to it. But you gotta have 2 dudes that got more than 4 or 5 people on their thing. On their thing. You do. And it's just that simple. So like I say, man, these dudes be trying to make something happen. That it ain't time, and it ain't nowhere close to time for this shit to happen yet. You gotta fight, clean out more than one division. Like Crawford has, he cleaned out the 140, cleaned out 147. You know, Clean out some divisions because when you clean out divisions, you're gonna have 3 to 4 big names per division. These is A-level fighters. You can't have 2 A-level fighters in our career and a bunch of B's and C-level fighters and think you finna get beat on the level of Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had been a 5 division champion or some shit like that. And Floyd was a 4 before they set up their fight. That's how you get big money fights like that. Go look at Floyd and Pacquiao resume and look at the dudes who they fought before they finally fought each other and got that money like that. These dudes don't be nowhere close to that shit. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. And then, I'm telling you, man, you know, everybody want it overnight, man, and to really get that real top dollar, you gotta go out here and fight. You gotta go out here and fight consistently A-level fighters, not go from an A level to a C level to a B level. You gotta stay in there with them A's. A after A after A after A after A, and that's when you got a real fighter. Floyd, Andre Ward, Joe Calzaghe. It was dudes who did it like that. Roy Jones, well, now Roy Jones fall out of sorry motherfuckers too, but it was a lot of people that did it like that, and that's how you get that type recognition. Ali and all them, they didn't get where he was fighting a bunch of C level and B level fighters. They was fighting the top guys, and you can't get these dudes to do that shit no more. You really can't. You just can't get these dudes to do that no more. A lot of them just refuse to take them tough fights. Unless you damn near force them, or you almost got to put a gun in their head to go in there and fight real competition because they done got so far beating up people they know they can beat. Antoine Perez is going to be hard for Canelo to pick it. I agree. And that now, there you go, Antoine. You can do that shit for a little while, but sooner or later, it's gonna be put up a shut up time. Sooner or later, it's gonna get to a point where you ain't got no choice but to fight somebody now. Kind of how I got with Earl and Terrence Crawford. It got to the point where it really wasn't nowhere else for them to go but to get their ass in that ring and thump. So Canelo, that's why I wish he just, after I saw what I saw last night, if he don't fight Benavidez, now that Benavidez moved up, who do we really want to see him fight? I don't want to see him fight nobody. Now that you let Benavidez get it by, I don't want to watch nothing else. I really don't. I hate to say it. I don't want to watch nothing else because I want you to get that young boy, and y'all was the two best. You know, he say he the best, you say you the best. We're getting the ring, I see who the best. And we didn't get that, so who the fuck you want to see Canelo fight? Me, nobody but Benavidez. You know, I did want to see him fight Big Charlo too, but Big Charlo don't fight enough no more, so I don't gotta see that shit. I want to see Benavidez, and Benavidez that moved up. Not give that exactly. Hell no, they ain't giving no payday for sparring matches. It's basically, you know, Antoine. I be saying that too, and you're 100% right. They's basically sparring matches. That's the truth. That's what I've been telling them for a lot of this shit, man. These dudes go ahead and getting paid to spar. You know, and that shit pissed me off. That's why some fights I'm not buying no more. I used to buy all the pay-per-views, but if you gonna put some bullshit in the ring with somebody like Canelo or something like that, now y'all gonna make me be on that bullshit. You know, I'm paying my money, especially when you want $100. I'm paying my money for good, solid fights. Uh, Frank and Tank got my money. Go, got it coming. You know what I mean? You put the right dudes in there. When Bud go fight this dude over there in Saudi Arabia, got my money coming. They got a beautiful undercard. I don't mind paying for the fights, but I want to pay for a damn fight. I don't want, I'm a dog. I ain't paying no $80, $90 for no motherfucking sparring match. And then they get out here and want to talk shit to the fans when they think they got a little money in their pocket. Where the hell you think put that money in your pocket? The fans. So I mean, sometimes these dudes, when they ain't on top, they humble and respectful. But when these dudes think they done got rich, all of a sudden, fuck the fans. Nigga, how you think you got that money? We buying pay-per-views and buying tickets to come to these fights, man. You know, uh, if you ain't gonna go in there, I pay to see Tank. I pay to see Devin. It depends on who Devin fight because I don't like all that pitter patter running around the ring. But certain dudes, I'm gonna watch whoever they fight. And then what's going on, dog? Uh, NC Southbound. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Boxing is to me, it's really getting back better. We getting better fights again now. And to be honest with you, we have been getting much better pay-per-views lately, the last 2 or 3 years. But we still ain't getting certain fights like Benavidez and Canelo. You know what? At this point, Keith Thurman and Earl Spence need to just damn fight. It's a lot of fights we need to have. This Frank Martin and Tank Davis, that is going to be a great fight for as long as it lasts. And I ain't saying dudes get knocked out no more because since I gave it to my call a knockout, now they go 12 damn rounds because I sure thought. That's why I said Canelo hit this dude with 50% of his power shots last night, 50% accuracy for 12 rounds, and you don't get this dude up out of there. You ain't got no pop in that division. He ain't got no power for 168, which means if you can't hurt him, you can't hurt Benavidez. If you can't hurt Benavidez, he's gonna beat this dog shit out you. And I don't think that Benavidez is so much better of a fighter than Canelo. But at this point in Canelo's career, I think Benavidez would embarrass him enough. I really do. I think Benavidez would do him similar to how Crawford did Earl in that fight. I really do, man. I think Benavidez will whoop shit out Canelo if he get in there. And I think Canelo deep down inside, he know it. Honestly, and I like Canelo, but I think deep down inside he know if he getting there with Benavidez, he getting his ass beat. I really think that, and I think that's why he make every excuse in the world not to fight this man. You can't say Benavidez ain't earned that fight. That's bullshit. That ain't nothing but an excuse right there. And that's the part I don't like. Okay, you ain't gonna fight a guy, but don't come out here and say no shit like that. Who he fought and how the hell I'm gonna fight somebody? Y'all gonna get y'all ass in the ring. So that's the part I hate when they start talking that who a dude ain't fought and you motherfuckers won't fight. Just like Boots. How you gonna fight somebody that won't nobody fight them? What you supposed to do? You know, I hate when it's, that's an excuse a lot of these do. Keith Thurman was doing that to Earl Spence. Who was Earl Spence? Who was he fought? Get your ass in the ring with him and you'll find out who he is. They ain't gonna do that though. And these guys mandatories. They'll just find a reason and go on hiatus. PBC, like the hell, they won't even come back for 2 years. So like I say, man, some of this stuff it do get frustrating at times. Canelo better stay. Hell yeah, he better stay away from Dave Benavidez. Will smoke that boy. Uh, Benavidez, I keep forgetting about it when I say my favorite. I love to watch Benavidez too. Benavidez, get off of your boy. Boy, he ain't nothing to play with. Benavidez gonna deal with you. And once he get going, once that motor get going, Benavidez even hit your ass everywhere. I like Benavidez. I think the Mexican monster, he the real deal. I'm a Benavidez fan from all day long, and it's sad. It's really a damn shame that Canelo don't get that man that fight he deserves. And and y'all from the same country. And then y'all heard that shit. I thought Canelo said he wasn't fighting no more Mexicans, but he got in the ring with Munguia. He done used every excuse in the world not to fight that boy David Benavidez. I mean, mother said he ain't fighting no more Mexicans. Hell, you gonna fight them most of the good fighters. How you gonna do that? That's right. He knows that Canelo saw Mexican monster and said to himself, shit, hell. That's right. Damn straight, Stanley. Hell yeah, man, yeah. He put on another Benavidez. Benavidez's little brother, he went 12 rounds with Crawford with a bullet in his motherfucking leg. They got a fighting family. Him and his brother. His brother is just as good. He just got shot and it took all his lateral movement, and that messed him up. But his brother can fight too. He come from a fighting family, man. Canelo know it. Benavidez is the real deal, as far as I'm concerned. And once again, like Antoine Pear was saying, it's a shame, man, that we don't get them fights right there. They should have made Canelo. I agree with Antoine. They should have made Canelo fight that boy. They really should have. They should have forced him to fight that boy or get a belt up. You fight him or you hand him over and get the fuck on in another division. But they should have forced him to fight that boy and get him. See, because when a guy done worked his ass off to get to the way he is, and now won't nobody fight you. And the sanctioning body sit back there and let that shit happen. Boxing corrupt as hell in a lot of ways, man. And I guess don't none of these politicians that want to just get off into no sport thing like that. But it do need to be some type of oversight in boxing, man, because people, this is a hard sport. Boxing is a hard sport. It really is. It's a lot of sacrifice, especially in the smaller divisions. And when you bust your ass and get into the position, you supposed to, they supposed to let you, because they ain't giving you shit. You earned the right to fight, to be the mandatory. They shouldn't be able to just fight them if they want to or don't want to. Then what the fuck is the sense of calling it a mandatory if they ain't gotta fight you? I mean, I thought that's what mandatory meant. I mean, man, they just do what the hell they man. Rich G-Mo will just do whatever they want to do. This is why I say it ain't wise to be getting into with people like Floyd and Oscar, these influential promoters, because if you in there fighting against one of their fighters and it's a close fight, motherfuckers say what they want. I think all the promoters have a referee, a judge in their pocket before the fight start. Cause how else do we see these fucked up scorecards we be getting out there? Sometimes them scorecards be so off balance to it. Don't I mean it's just utterly ridiculous. Somebody been paid off. Ray Charles can see it. This is why it's a lot of good it's a lot I like about boxing, but it's a lot they really need to stop. A lot of this shit need to be changed, really. But it been this way this long, it ain't gonna change now. That's it for me on this one. I gotta get out of here. But I will do another. I'm gonna start trying to do these lives at least a couple times a week. Sometimes just be too busy, but I try to do this again either tomorrow or Tuesday. If I get it, if I think about it, I'll put the time. I'll be on here next time. But you know, until next time, all y'all stay up. One.